Gentlemen, it's time.
What's up, everybody? This is Zyler, and today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different compared to the usual content that I've uploaded in the past. We're going to be making a 4-part series in which we look at a portion of the narrative from Red Dead Redemption 2. The portion that we're going to be taking a closer look at and later dissecting is all the portions of the game that take place between Arthur and the Wapiti people. The Wapiti people are a fictional Native American tribe that was developed for the narrative purposes of the RDR2 campaign. So without further delay, let's get into part 1 covering the background and meeting the Wapiti people. The Wapiti tribe used to roam all of New Hanover until being forced to relocate to a reservation in Amberino. There is some lore that can be heard about a massacre that took place in New Hanover, and through some unused game assets, this massacre that can be heard of might be referring to the Indian Wars that happened before Arthur's narrative begins. However, for the sake of our analysis, we're going to be looking at all the occurrences in which Arthur and the Wapiti people's narratives cross paths. Arthur's first encounter with the Wapiti people is when he spots a few riders atop a ridge at the end of chapter 1.
Trouble, we wouldn't have seen him.
Poor bastards. We really screwed them over down here. Come on, let's not push our luck.
What happened?
Well, get in. I'll tell you.
Here we are given more insight into the history of this world and just what has been done to the tribe in this area particularly.
Yes, the Indians in these parts got sold a very raw deal. This is the heartlands we're going to. Good farming and grazing country, they lost it all. Stolen clean away from them it was, every blade of grass. Killed or herded up to the reservations in the middle of nowhere.
And how's that different from anywhere else?
Well, maybe it's not. I just heard some of the army out here was particularly unpleasant about it.
Unpleasant? How do you rob and kill people pleasantly? We don't. In spite of that, just talk.
After this moment, interactions between Arthur and the Wapiti tribe are scarce. However, through environmental storytelling and a spatial narrative, a mission can be done with Charles Smith, who is a member of the Vanderlyn gang. Charles Smith is both black and native. In this mission, Charles goes into detail of just how important bison are to Native American culture. As the mission continues, it is shown that the bison are being hunted by poachers, and that nothing is being used from the carcass.
You know, it was before my time, of course, but my mother used to tell me stories of how her tribe moved with the bison. They lived almost as one. Where the bison went, my people went. And they were the center of all life. We couldn't survive without them. They provided us with everything. Food, clothing, shelter, tools. There was a lot of respect. No. Look. Bison. Shot and left for dead, it looks like.
Why would someone do that?
I don't know. But I see tracks heading in this direction.
After a quick investigation, 2 poachers can be found, and when questioned, they say this.
Why are you killing those bison and leaving them to rot? I don't know what you're talking about. God damn it, tell us or you're dead. Oh, okay. We were paid to kill as many as we could and make it look like it was Indians. Just kill him, Arthur.
At this moment in the game, it is unclear why poachers would be killing bison and framing natives. However, we will revisit this later on. The real problems for the Wapiti tribe come to light in Chapter 4. The mission, The Gilded Cage, Arthur and his gang are invited to a dinner party hosted by the mayor of Saint Denis. Here, Angelo Bronte is marking the partygoers, and he points out a couple of Native Americans.
Oh, the Redskins. I have no sympathy for them, because whoever is stupid enough to get tricked by the Americans, no, they get what they deserve, huh? Yes, and a letter to the mayor. Oh yeah, that'll save you.
From here, Arthur will later meet Eagle Flies and Rains Fall.
Well, I'm sorry. Have you met? This is Rains Fall, a great chief, and his son, Eagle Flies.
Gentlemen, we saw you in the wagon train crossing the river at Cumberland Falls. And at the party, you were upstairs.
You have great powers of observation.
Yes, my people, if we are even a people anymore. We've fought hard. We've made peace treaties, and those treaties were broken. And we've been moved and punished and moved.
I'm sure.
And now I am told we are to be moved again.
Clearly contravening the peace treaty signed 3 years ago.
This will lead to war.
No, my son, it will not. We cannot fight another war. They have got stronger, and we have become far weaker, Mr. Morgan.
Well, it's bad business.
It's to do with oil. I know it is, but I need the proof.
It is here we learn the current situation of the Wapiti. There are threats that the Wapiti will be removed from the reservation due to claims of oil being under their land. More information can be found if we inspect documents found in Chapter 1 after robbing a train owned by Leviticus Cornwall. The letter that can be found on Cornwall's train is from the Leland Oil Development Company and reads as follows. Dear Mr. Cornwall, we are yet to receive the payment of $2,000 for the initial phase of exploration of the Wapiti Indian Reservation in Amberino. As agreed in the contract between Cornwall Kerosene and Tar and the Leland Oil Development Company, dated November 9, 1898. On receiving of the funds, we will proceed with phases 2 and 3 of the project and present you with a detailed report of the findings within the month. Yours respectfully, James Critchley, Head of Accounts, Leland Oil Development Company. This does seem to confirm the threat of relocation once again, due to the supposed oil under the lands where the Wapiti Reservation now resides. That is all we can learn of the struggle of the Wapiti until much later in the game. Chapter 6 is when the narratives of Arthur and the Wapiti cross again.
This is Eagle Flies. His father is a great chief. Charles and I, we
Pretended to be mercenaries. Did me a great favor.
Dutch Vanderlyn, how do you do?
Not well, sir.
Well, I am sorry to hear that.
How's your father?
Father has confused wisdom with weakness. His people, my people. We've suffered too much. Been lied to too much. Now they've taken our horses.
Who?
The infantry division posted at Fort Wallace.
Why?
Colonel Favors is a liar and a murderer. His people won't stop until we're all dead. Without horses, we cannot hunt. Without hunting, we will starve. This is another act of war.
I see that. What do you think, Charles?
You know I told your father I will not fight over some horses.
But I made no such promise. Come along.
From this interaction, it seems the Wapiti people not only worry about their land being stolen due to talks of oil, but also have an enemy in the U.S. Army. This regiment is led by Colonel Favors. While the Wapiti seem to have increasing tensions with the Army and their land rights, the argument can be made that Eagle Fly's decision to seek out the help of Dutch Vanderlyn was the worst choice he could have made for the sake of his people. As while Dutch might offer aid, his intentions are much more insidious and deceitful.
Why are you getting involved in this, Dutch?
You know me. We shoot fellers as need shooting. We save fellers as need saving. Feed them as need feeding.
Not this again. It's been quite a while since we helped anyone but ourselves, and even you know that.
I told you. Noise. We need noise, Arthur. Noise. And faith. Some good, honest conflict between the Army and the Indians might be just the distraction we need. Kill two birds with one stone. Cornwall was funding the Pinkertons' assault on us. Why do you think I dealt with him? With Cornwall gone, the government is far more likely to divert them to other issues, especially if there's one more scandal. And then we can slip away. Like I said, we just need that noise and one more score.
It is through the interaction of Eagle Flies and Dutch that we also get a peek into the inner workings of the Wapiti, as well as the different factions beginning to form on the reservation. Eagle Flies and other young natives want to fight for their people and are tired of being pushed around by the American government. On the other hand, Rainsfall sees conflict with the army as a path towards his people's annihilation. Eagle Flies and his younger generation views the elders' stance as weakness. After the mission in which Arthur and his gang freed the Wapiti's horses, Charles asks for Arthur to help Rainsfall on the reservation, and a choice is made by the player to either help the Wapiti or ignore their ongoing struggles.
Seems like Uncle Sam likes you fellas even less than he likes us.
So it goes. My father doesn't want to fight again. Will one of you help me return the horses to my men?
Well, Arthur needs to rest. I will. I like you, son. And after the horses, are we gonna wait for the army to come and wreak its revenge?
I hope not.
Of course we ain't. Now let's go check out that fort of theirs.
Is this a good idea?
This is the only idea, and it is one that will suit both of our purposes.
Fighting the army ain't wise.
Stop worrying.
I don't know, Dutch.
Yeah, well, I do. This is exactly the distraction that we need.
Your father said that fighting was an impossible gamble. There's no winning for you in this.
Father need not know anything. He'd rather live in ignorance.
Come along,
Your
gentlemen.
father would rather you did not do anything so foolish. I said I would stop this from happening. Would you talk to him?
Speak with Rangeful.
Yes. Would you?
Sure. I'll speak with him.
Naturally, for our purposes, we will be visiting Rainsfall and see what it is we can do to assist his tribe, as well as see what else we can learn through our interactions with the chief. But that is going to be the end of part 1 in this 4-part series. In part 2, we will meet Rainsfall and Colonel Favors, as well as just how Dutch corrupts Eagle Flies and how the wedge between Rainsfall and his son continues to grow as another Indian war is imminent. I hope that you are enjoying this narrative deep dive, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!